he played a trick on me.
What did he do?
I had called for it. It was originally racing car green.
Yeah.
So I asked for it to be painted. I wanted a racing car red with a red upholstery and red tires and everything red.
Yes.
I wanted it to be a Philadelphia police car.
And what is it?
And so I walked through the thing, and they said, your car's ready, and I was all excited. And he said, well, here it is. And they showed me this green thing.
Yeah.
With yellow upholstery.
Yeah.
And I said, but I said, I just want this because you guys have, and so they were all laughing and everything.
Yeah.
And they said, joke's on you, this is not your car. So I said, joke's on you, because if it had been my car, I was going to punch out about 8 people standing right here. So then they walked me outside and they showed me my car exactly as I had, asked for. In this car, Jack, by the way, in 34 Aston Martin,
Yeah.
The gas pedal is in the middle.
Yeah.
The brake is all the way on the right, and the clutch is extreme left.
Huh.
So you can see the trouble that I was having while driving it in the city of Los Angeles, in a hurry, driving down the street, and say, okay, come off of the gas and hit the gas. And was going through windows, and people were laughing. Said, boy, that car is really funny. Did you see him go right off the edge of that cliff there and just hit those rocks? And he's beautiful, isn't he? Look at him going to the hospital. Isn't he wonderful? He just loves showbiz so much, he'll do anything for a laugh. So my wife and I once again carried the car back up here, piece for piece,
Yeah.
and bolt for bolt. And we said, would you completely restore this again? Only this time. Put the gas on the right,
Yeah.
and the brake in the middle.
Yeah.
And so Bill completely restored it again.
Yes.
And this time he said, there's no charge for this because we feel kind of guilty that, the gas pedal's over there and we didn't change it for you because you did ask us to change it. And I said, no, I don't remember saying all that. But anyway, I'll take it if it's for free because the whole job to do it again was like $12,000.
What does a 1934 Aston Martin look like?
It looks like...
Yeah.
I'm trying to describe. Like a 47 or a 49 MG.
Yeah. TC. Yeah. Yeah.
That only it has the Excalibur with the pipes coming out of the
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Well, just on one side. And also the unique thing about it is that the fenders turn with the wheel.
Motorcycle fenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the creases going down the center. It is really a beautiful car and a fantastic grill.
Yeah.
The only thing is you can't make a getaway.
It doesn't have any.
If you rob a bank, do not have a 34 Aston Martin because it takes you 24 days to get in the thing. And then everything, the shifting is on the left and there's nothing to say where to go first, second, or third.
Yeah.
And then there's some things you're supposed to do before you start it up.
Yeah.
Like hit the reserve tank and then you have to get out and pump it up and kick your tires. So it's definitely not your average getaway car.
It is not a Bonnie and Clyde escape mobile.
No, because
That's out.
as a matter of fact, the people would laugh at you as you're running out of the bank with the money.
Yeah.
Because then they would watch you try and start it up.
Listen, how many other cars do you have now?
Well, Camille has an Excalibur 4-seater.
How does she like the Excalibur?
She's crazy about it. It's a hydromatic, and of course, Camille cannot shift gears at all. So
Wives are like that.
Huh?
Wives are always like that,
Yeah, but I'm kind of happy because, if I bring in a Ferrari or like they gave me out here to drive the Lamborghini.
Oh, really?
Have you heard of that car?
No.
Well, it does 210 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And you sit in it, and when you start the motor up, you have to run because it's loud.
Yeah.
Now, I also have that Carol Shelby made for me personally.
Yeah.
The Cobra with the 2 superchargers.
Yeah.
Which will do, supposed to do 200 plus.
Miles an hour.
It's an angry car. Even while idling, I'm doing 60.
Yeah.
And it's very angry, and I don't bring it out of the house too much. I have to leave it in the living room.
What are you going to do with all those fast cars? You can't drive them anywhere.
Well, that's the whole idea, man. It's like having your own bomb. And you don't have a plane. And you guys say, what are you doing with a bomb? And you don't have a plane. So, well, one day.
One day.
That's all you keep saying to people. So one day. But on top of that,
Yeah.
Carol Shelby puts my 427 Cobra on display, and I just won a trophy out of one of the shows.
Yeah, but what do you drive to the grocery store?
I drive, are you ready?
Yeah.
I drive a Rover.
An English Rover? Land Rover, you mean, or a Rover
Not
Rover?
a Land Rover. This is just a Rover.
Yeah.
This is a Rover, and I get 25 to 27 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
It is, according to Road and Track, Track and Field, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
the safest car in the world. It is designed geometrically that if you have a head-on collision anywhere around 60, 70 miles an hour, that the motor will drop forward. However, I do not plan to experiment on this.
No, you'll take their word.
Yes, I will, and hope.
Hey, listen, off the subject of cars for a minute. I heard a rumble that maybe I Spy...
It is. It's going off the air. Hooray!
Is it really going off the
I
air?
hope. Listen, don't tell anybody.
No.
Don't say a word to
No.
anybody.
Shh.
But I will be so happy that it's going off, because then both of us, I think at the end of 3 years, we now have that popularity.
Yeah.
That people know who we are, and we can go into films.
Into movies.
Yes, indeedy.
And
Let us go by the way of the movie.
Well, do you...
Let us do those things.
Well, do you know for sure
I'd say it's about 90% that we're off the air, man.
that I Spy will be through at the end of this year?
And I'm starting work on my first movie, which is called God Save the Mark. And
Mhm.
it's about a guy who's always being taken by con men.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very funny movie.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm ready to go that route. I'm going to take myself off of television
Yeah.
and just go ahead and do the movie. We're going to do 2 of them.
Yeah.
And of course, my production company is doing that.
Yeah.
So we're in good shape. I mean, Bill's in good shape. Bob Culp is in good shape.
Will Bob be with you in the movie, the first movie?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We have something for you.
For me, for Bob.
Yes, a 90-foot jump.
Hmm?
90-foot jump.
Culp's going to do the jump?
No, you.
I don't want to be in movies.
I thought you said.
I said, is Bob going to do the movie with
Oh,
you?
I thought you said if we had anything for you in the movie.
Oh, no, a 90-foot jump. No, not a fella my age.
Well, come on now.
Well, if you need an elderly father image in one of the pictures, that's for me. Or a dice shooter. I'm a marvelous dice shooter.
Oh, look out, folks. One of the low dice shooters of our time.
The worst.
I bet on you because I wanted you to think that I was your friend.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Our friendship almost ended there with that $400 I laid down.
You did lose a few dollars.
You set the world record for .7.
Yes.
The line away.
I'm not lucky.
I don't think so.
No.
I think we're just better sitting down in the dressing room watching TV.
That's been the story of my life. I did a TV series years ago, never caught on, called You Spy.
You Spy.
See how close I was?
Yeah, you left out the eye.
That was it, and it
would've
folded.
been a hit.
First show folded, never sold the pilot.
Never sold again.
Some guys have the luck, some guys don't.
Yeah, well, listen, we're all ready to go now. How's San Francisco?
Everything's fine. You going to be in town?
I don't think I'll be coming in. I'm working up here until the 20th of March. I'm trying to get with meetings with the production people and find out if it's cheaper for us to shoot in San Francisco or if we have to go to New York. Now, the one minus against San Francisco was that the last time we shot a movie up there, our production company shot up there with Albert Finney, they didn't get that cooperation that they expected from the law enforcement agencies up there and the unions and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let me go up and talk to the guys, because we had a great time up there with I Spy, and it's just perhaps, they didn't know who you were or anything like that,
Yeah.
So that just might be the problem. But I certainly would like to shoot this movie in San Francisco. It has that East Coast, West Coast look, and it could be very, very groovy. And of course, you could get into the flick.
Starring role.
Shoot some of Enrico Banducci's things,
Hey, listen, Cos, I know you're busy, and I'm going to let you go. Will you do me
I'm
a...
not busy. I wanted to talk to you for a while.
All right, let's
Put
break.
me off the air?
Hang on a minute. Stay right there. We'll
We're
break
gonna
for the
have a
headlines. I'll be
commercial?
right back. KSFO Radio, San Francisco. Here we go. All right, back on the phone with Bill Cosby, 19 minutes before 3 o'clock. Cos, are you there?
Yes?
Yes.
I'm still here.
Cos is up in Reno. He's at the museum here, his old car museum. Hey, what about Cassius Clay? You spent some time with Muhammad Ali. I talked to you, as a matter of fact, when you guys were together.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and he's now broke.
Broke?
Broke.
Why broke?
Well, because, see, here's what happens, man. A man becomes an athlete.
Yeah.
We'll take fighters, ball players, especially like baseball players and whatnot.
Yeah.
Their life expectancy is like from maybe, let's say, 19 up until something else. Well, a fighter is different altogether. A fighter is probably when he hits 28, he is really an old man.
Yeah.
And usually they don't make it to be champion until like 26 or 27, something like that, you know? So it's just a couple of years that you have it, and in those couple of years you make so much money that Uncle Sam is loving you.
Right.
Now, between his taxes and, of course, his donating an awful lot of his salary to the Muslims, and also lawyers' fees, and trying to pay off this other woman, that he was married to. On top of that, when you are very poor, when you're brought up poor, you tend to turn around and really reach back and help out Mom. You want to buy Mom a big house.
Yeah.
You want to give Mom a car.
Yeah.
You want to give Dad the same thing. You want to take care of all of your 5 brothers. You want them to have a home. You set them up in businesses, and usually things that can't work for them because they don't know how to handle them. But right away they have these big, fantastic things. And on top of that, hundreds and thousands of people call you and say, listen, can you give me $500 because my legs are weak and they should be operated on, and I need this operation. I think I can walk again. And you start to donate, man, like hundreds and thousands of dollars to unknown people, to people that need, to your family, to your brothers, to everybody. And, of course, since he is no longer recognized as the champion of the world, since he can no longer join in all of the fun, making all this dough, of course the cat is going to be broke. Because, he's like, I don't know, maybe, 25, 26 years old. And that's it for him, man. I doubt very much if he'll ever come back, and it's going to be tough for him to come back. And he's got with all of the people that hate him.
And he's got nothing left, Bill, from what he made? He's flat?
I doubt it. I doubt very much if there's much left. Seriously speaking, by the time Uncle Sam reaches in and yanks out that 90%, even if you protect yourself with certain things, which I'm sure he didn't do, buildings and so forth and so on, you still wind up with just a little bit. I'll give you an example of what it's like. This is my accountant's idea of how much I make. All right?
Okay.
Now, $50,000 a week up at Lake Tahoe, right?
Right.
I said to my accountant, how much can I lose if I gamble at Lake Tahoe? Tell me truthfully, how much can I lose before I start to owe somebody something?
Yeah.
You know how much out of that $50,000?
How much?
$5,000 a week. That's all I can afford to lose. Now, that's out of $50,000. So you can see, and I'm protecting myself, with apartment buildings and 6, 7 different businesses going, man, and, of course, the production company and whatnot. So out of $50,000, if I can only afford to lose $5,000, then I know the way that he's giving out money to his own organization and also to other people, and also buying a home for Mom and so forth and so on. It has nothing to do with how many cars a guy owns. That's only a small part of it.
Right.
And I could have 13 cars if I wanted to.
That's not where the big money goes.
Huh?
That isn't where the big money
No,
goes.
that isn't why I will be broke, at the end of my career. No, most of it has to do with, what you shell out and, in giving to certain people or certain groups that, it never really comes back, or you never really receive it.
So you really think that Muhammad Ali is just about flat?
I think it's just about flat, and Harry Belafonte and I have spoken to each other on this whole deal, and we both feel that he gave up an awful lot, right or wrong. You know, this was his belief. This was something that he believed.
Well, let me ask you one question. Incidentally, this is Jack Carney. I'm talking to Bill Cosby, and we're talking about Cassius Clay. Do you think that he knew in front what he was jeopardizing? Do you think he knew that he could blow everything?
So.
He did, all the way. Yeah.
Sure, but what you have to do is you have to remember that I think that the press kind of helped to make him a heavy, to make him a real bad guy, man. He said what he had to say, and to me, if you don't like what a guy's saying, you know, like why even bother to get?
Yeah, but Cosby, wait a minute. Let me add one thing. Before there was any issue over anything, he'd already made himself a heavy just by being the big mouth. I can lick the world. It was his act. And he did it well, and it was designed to make him the heavy in the ring, the way wrestlers have done it for years.
But he was what you might call a lovable or a likable heavy. You see.
Well, I'm not sure I'd agree with you. I think in the beginning he never was likable. I really don't think it played that way.
I found it this way, you know, that before he came out and said that he was a Muslim, which in turn frightened people, man.
Yeah.
Really frightened them. Before then, people never really believed him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like a joke. It was like a guy saying, I am the greatest. And you would say, won't it be so funny, man, if this guy just gets decked right on his backside?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I felt about it. That's the way I felt about him. I would love to see somebody really knock him on his can, and that would close his lip. It wasn't a hatred. But then, when he came out and he started, you know, the press started laying on him about the racial thing, white, black, so forth and so on, that, of course, the press started to put and instill, and I really do believe this, man, an awful amount of unnecessary fear into people's minds. So much so that people started betting on guys that, you know, in their right minds, I mean, good people that know how to bet and know fighters, were putting money on an opponent they really knew couldn't stand up to this man.
I don't think there's a fighter today that can stand
up
to him.
And I look at the, and I'm sorry to say this, but I have to say it. I look at the garbage that's out there fighting now.
Yeah.
And it's totally ridiculous.